Okay. Tell me when I start.
It's good. It's good. Can
Okay. Hello, everybody. Happy New Year. Welcome to this monthly meeting. I'm happy to have you here. It's the first monthly meeting with a new time slot on Thursday instead of Tuesday. I hope you are happy with this change. If you are not, we can discuss about it again at the end of the meeting. We are always open to accommodate as much people as possible. For this new year, let's wish for each other a productive year with a lot of projects, Drupal and not Drupal, personal and professional, and with UI Suite or without. And let's hope we'll be proud of this year. So let's start. I see there is new faces. Who is new to the meeting? Nobody? I saw some name, I don't know.
I'm new as it is my first meeting on a Drupal meeting.
Yeah. But you know what we are talking about. What is UI Suite?
Yes,
you don't need
we use UI pattern, UI Suite.
Okay, nice. So we can skip this slide. The agenda of the meeting will be the same as usual. First, shared subjects, then modules, themes, and community subjects. Okay, so nothing more about the project browser. We still don't know it will be, we know it will be merged on 10.3, but 10.3 is in 5 months. So we have time. We are not late, but we didn't do progress last weeks. So UI Pattern 2. UI Pattern 2 development has started in November. We welcome a new member in the team. It's Michael. Michael will take a part of the scope of Edouard, the field formatter module. So are you with us, Michael, today?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, so welcome. We are very happy to have you in the team.
Just want to say we are a duo. In fact, I work also with Thomas Musa.
Yeah.
Which be connected. So we work together. We share the same mission. So it's
I forgot about Thomas because he was in holidays last time.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. But of course, Thomas, it's work with you.
Thanks.
So we are still targeting ecosystem consolidation. You know this slide already. We want to embed as much as possible into the UI Pattern project. The architecture overview have changed a bit. This slide is not updated, but we are fine-tuning the flow, but it's more or less the same. We did some progress since last month. We did progress on the prop types, schema manager, the source plugins, the library part, and the legacy part. So it's good news because those parts are like foundation, and we need them to be solid to do the integration of layout, blocks, views, and field formatters. The challenge today, it's about SDC, SDC API we are using. So there is some change since last week. Olivier will have a look on the retrieve only component not replaced by other issue. So it's nice. And we already know that the ADC team is okay for the change. So we only need to do the change. We have a few stuff we are proposing to SDC upstream and including something new. I will create a ticket, a new ticket next week about some rules on the render element. I'm pretty confident it will be accepted too, but if it's not, it's okay. We can do it ourselves on UI pattern. We will still be more compatible with SDC with a few tweaks, but it will be our stuff. The big issue is SDC extensibility. You know about that. SDC, it's very, very closed. The API, it's rigid. We need to make it more extensible. For that, we have two new solutions. First, Christian will create a new issue about introducing an alter component metadata hook. If we have this hook, or event, we don't care. Okay, if we have this point of interaction in the API, we can get rid of the two other tickets who were heavier. So it's a small change who can do a lot of good for UI pattern. Also, it's not written in this slide, but for the legacy layer, we will introduce a drush command, and we will talk about that later. This drush command will allow us to work with SDC, even if SDC is not very open. So this is a new strategy. So we started the project of adding legacy plugin discovery. We can do that. We are not closing the subject totally, but we are adding a drush command, two drush commands. So if you once you will upgrade from UI pattern 1 to UI pattern 2, if you want your theme to be compatible with UI pattern 2 and SDC, you only have to do two drush commands. Migrate, which will create the SDC component from the UI pattern 1 component and keeping also the UI pattern 1 component, and then you can delete them if you want. And also upgrade. Upgrade is a bit tricky because it do some changes in your code base on PHP code and YAML. But the goal is if you do those two changes, if you do execute those two commands, your UI pattern 1 theme will be SDC UI pattern 2 theme. And we are very optimistic about that because it works already pretty well. I've tried those commands on all the UI suite theme we have in Drupal.org. For material design, everything is okay. For protocol, everything is okay. For DSFR, everything is okay. We just have a few little change to do on Bootstrap 5 and USWDS 3. This merge request, these dot links are not showing the expected change, they are showing the result. So if you want to have a look on what is UI pattern 2 theme, you can have a look on this merge request and you will see the future of our UI pattern development. So if you want to share with me some of your code base, some of your projects for client, personal, you can send me your code base. I will run the drush command, and I can propose to you some feedback to improve the compatibility of your team with SDC and UI pattern 2. So you can, starting now, you can do some changes, and so you will be ready when UI pattern 2 will be released. Also, if you send me your project, I will be able to improve the conversion process because every project has a specific use case, and I can implement the use case on a UI pattern 2 legacy layer. So don't be shy. if you contact me on Slack if you want me to have a look. It's free work. So, some question about UiPattern 2? Or someone want to add something? Yeah, I can see, I'm not able to see the screen.
Ines has raised.
No, sorry.
It was to do a reaction. It was to do a reaction.
Yes,
To
sorry.
upload.
Okay. Nice. Okay, UiPattern 1. So as you know, UiPattern 1 is maintenance mode today. So we keep the issue queue, we do some change, but not heavy features. What is important is to get ready for UiPattern 2. And that's why I was proposing to do audit of your code to check if it's ready already. The setting type, links type was shipped with UiPattern settings 2.1, but there was some change we did. And now we have UiPattern 2.2 Alpha 2 without changes. So if you want to enjoy the full power of links type and integrate menu API, breadcrumb API, pagers API with your component, you have to upgrade your dependency to UiPattern settings 2.2 Alpha 2. It's alpha, but we are using it on a project for a few weeks already, and we are happy with it. Yes?
Pierre, just the 2.2 Alpha 2 is not displayed on the project page of UiPattern settings.
I did a mistake.
It is Alpha 1, 2.2 Alpha 1.
Alpha 1. Yeah. Because I wrote 2.2 and I was doing too much 2 numbers.
No problem. Just to be sure I have not missed something.
No, it's me, my mistake. Okay, thank you. So yeah, don't be shy to test it. It's very powerful. It can be a game changer for some integration. And of course, it will be. It's already ported to UiPattern 2. Yeah, Stephen did a proposal last month, but it was winter holidays, and I think we didn't move on this subject. And also about the twig, I know I'm talking about this since September, but if someone wants to become a twig contributor and to become a legend in the Drupal community, you can take this. I'm not a PHP programmer, and I don't have the skill to do the last change asking by the Twig team. UI styles. So style widget is still on the go. No news to share yet. But we released version 1.7 last month with some features and some tasks. So don't forget to upgrade your dependencies. And also, there is a companion module. Do you want to talk about this?
Yes. Sorry, I was muted. So in December, I released the 2 new modules. The first one is separated modules from the UI Suite ecosystem, but it is minded to be used inside this ecosystem too. So the idea was that I needed to remove div wrapper inside, for example, paragraph HTML.twig templates. But I would not want to have templates related to some specific paragraphs bundles. So I don't want to have machine names inside the code base, even in the name of the files. if possible. So the idea was to be able to configure pair view display. So, for example, the screenshot you can see on the right, it is a new stuff you have when you are on the Manage Display tab of one of your content entity types. Currently, it only allows to have a bare template suggestion. And so per view mode, you can configure if you want to enable this suggestion to be active or not. And so, for example, contrib or custom themes can provide node bare.html.twig templates, and your content types will be able to use it, and it is not related to a specific content type. These features, this integration has been merged inside, for example, the UI Suite Bootstrap theme. So you can give a look at that. And that way, by removing the wrapper, it fixes the integration of some components. For example, my original bug was that this div wrapper was preventing the accordion and accordion item components to work correctly together. Because of the div, the Bootstrap design system, Bootstrap 5 design system was expecting to have a direct child, and the div was preventing to have a direct child in the HTML. So possible to have template suggestions not related to a specific content type or paragraph type, and so it remains seed buildable.
Okay, thank you. Yes, it's important to not hard code the business into the file name, so it will be useful. I just want to tell everybody that it's totally optional. Even if UI Suite Bootstrap is using it, it's optional. And also, it's not part of the UI Suite collection.
Yeah. Exactly. In the potentially, here it is only a checkbox to add this bare template suggestion, but we could imagine evolutions that allow you to write directly the template suggestion and to have any number of template suggestions as you want, and it is completely separate from UI Suite. It is directly, it is only template suggestion.
So it's just Florent using the UI Suite meeting to do the promotion of his module. No, but it's very interesting. Thank you, Florent. And the second module with part of UI Suite?
Yeah, still second module, because still on my problem of accordion and accordion items. And the problem is that by removing the div wrapper, if, for example, I have one of my paragraphs which was unpublished, it was not taking anymore the slightly red background color. And also I witnessed that it was not correctly working when, for example, using Layout Builder. So I ended up tackling two separated issues, and hence two separated modules, two new modules for that. And this module, the goal was to apply automatically the classes inside the content entities when they were unpublished, and to have also support for Layout Builder for that. So it correctly applies either in the div attributes in the wrapper div attributes, or inside Layout Builder if the view mode is using Layout Builder. And if automatically applying something, let's make the unpublished class to be configurable. That way, in UI Suite Bootstrap, I was able to remove some PHP code, also some simplifying some templates, and also removing some little bit of custom CSS. That way, you can apply any kind of classes, and so any kind of CSS to the aspect of an unpublished entity. It is completely configurable, and later we could imagine that if a website is using the content moderation module to have different background colors or any kind of effect depending of your publication status in your publication workflow, to have the different steps with different effects. So yeah, still something configurable and optional, but recommended in for the next version of UI Suite Bootstrap. Less and less hard-coded stuff, but more stuff to configure. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Someone has a question? Does someone don't understand how useful it is?
Yes, Michael.
Yes, I have the impression, maybe I'm wrong, that this tackle direct consequences of removing your wrapper. And I was asking myself, maybe this is a wrong question, but inside, like, for example, node template, you have this title suffix variable in Twig.
Yeah.
Which is which in this variable there are many stuff added, like in place editing, some module stuff in this. So and maybe the problem you had with the status was related to this title suffix variable or to a class.
No. So it is mixing the two problematics. So maybe Pierre, you can go back to the previous slides. That's why it is something configurable. Originally, I was, for example, in my first draft merge request on UI Suite Bootstrap, I was in the paragraph.html.twig template removing the div wrapper. Problem that, okay, and if something needs this div wrapper, especially, for example, UI styles paragraphs, it was no more working because UI styles paragraph only handles this adding class to the attributes inside the paragraph.html.twig, so the feature was no more working. That's why it is configurable. So if your paragraph type or if your entity type for the design system to be compliant with the design system, you need to remove it. You can remove it by just enabling it per view mode, and if you don't need to use it, you can. It will not be used automatically. That's why it is configurable. And exactly the aspects of removing title prefix, title suffix. Yes, you can remove stuff like contextual links, but maybe depending on your need, it is not needed. But that's why I had to found a configurable solution.
But at the beginning, your problem is that in your design system, you have some behavior working on a specific situation, and you were unable to reproduce this markup using the. You were obliged to create a specific template to reproduce the correct markup, right? So you added this UI fix to be able to
the
correct markup, right?
No, the problem was if I remove the div wrapper, the unpublished aspect was not present anymore.
Yes, I know this is for the second module.
Yeah.
I mean for this module here.
Yeah.
Because
maybe Pierre, you can.
Yeah, I understand the problem it solves, but I still find the solution a bit exotic. But it works, of course. But
yeah, I don't want to provide a specific, for example, I didn't want to end up with paragraph -- accordion - item HTML.
Yeah, I know. I understood. Yeah.
So this is the purpose of this module, to not have a specific template for this specific use case. A template name with the entity and the bundle.
Yeah, I understand.
Okay, let's continue. So new icon module, it's a 2024 scope, so of course it's pending, but we need to start. We have a Drupal Camp France in March, where the French community is gathering, I will like to do a kickoff during this event. Layout option, nothing new, but you know, layout option is it's a simple module. US Scheme. There was a new release, Alpha 5, on 7 December of last year, with only a few changes. In my opinion, the interesting one is vertical tabs, because it's way more comfortable to use now. Thank you, Florent and Karim. Nothing new for the CSS variable derivative. It's complicated subject. That's why it's something we need to do it right for the first time. So we need to take time to implement this. And page layout, we are ready, but the ecosystem is not ready. We are still looking for a way of using the Layout Builder to replace the block layout back office. On your example, we got a release 2. So you see a lot of release in December. It was a big month with some cleanup and features. So mostly on documentation. About the next step, is still pending, but I'm very confident the next meeting we will be able to do progress or to finish this task. And if we do that, that means we can release version 1.0 of the module. Why I'm confident? Because we are solving this also in UI Pattern 2. So we can take the solution from UI Pattern 2 and port it to your example. So this subject is about making the dash sharp optional into render arrays. Okay, about the team. Theme are important, is a public implementation, is a test bed, is also like the showroom of our technology. New release of Bootstrap 5, some features, some tasks, also some bugs. We didn't see this, not shown in this slide. Alpha 12 already, but I think we are moving to beta soon, I hope. Bootstrap 4.2 was released with a lot of code cleaning and good practices. The DSFR DSFR team is making progress. We are getting close to the beta 6, and beta 6 will be the last one before the release candidate. So it's very exciting. Only 8 issues remaining, and our goals is to cover all the DSFR 1.10 scope and to be compatible with UBATACT 2.2. So once we do that, we will have stability, and we can commit on non-breaking change for the next releases. Also, DSFR is already compatible SDC and UI Pattern 2, so we are very confident for the future. The first alpha of US WDS was released by Stephen the 15th of December. 46 components, 70 styles, 4 grid layouts. So it's already a big baby. Stephen is working on some change now. And also I took a few tasks. So you can expect Alpha 2 in the next weeks. But it's still an impressive team. If you want to have a look and start play with it, it's already very mature. Material design tree, nothing new. If you want someone to do it again, I think it will be very fun because it's fresh, it's new, and it will be the first UI Suite team based on web component. So the door is open. About the readiness of our team for UI Pattern 2, we didn't do progress on the existing team, but we introduced USWS with already ready for pre-processes. So now we have the recipe, and we just have to need to follow the recipe to get rid of the last pre-processes, because SDC doesn't allow pre-processes on component. The tool validator did some progress, but slowly. So let's talk about this in the next meeting. And on the community side, UI Suite is still not a community initiative, but no worry about that. And we got 8 new people on the Slack, so the community is still growing, and we are always very happy when people are joining us. Someone want to share something? Or maybe I was a bit too fast on the last slide, if someone has a question.
Yes, one point about the UI Suite Zerb Foundation
Yeah.
theme. Maybe there is a slide missing on it. Just to say that if someone want to become the main maintainer, no problem for that. I give it. I give it. Initially, I started it to learn it, but since I gain access to UI Suite Bootstrap and focusing on UI Suite Bootstrap, I don't have time for Zerb. So if someone is Zerb aficionado, let's go for it. No problem.
I will add a slide at the next monthly meeting.
Yeah. Thanks.
So there is 2 teams open, Material Design Tree and Zerb Foundation. So it's a playground for all of you. Ines, you are proposing Floris?
Yeah, I know that Floris is
Yes.
he likes Zerb a lot.
Mhm.
But yeah, if you can ping him if you want. I'm not sure if he has the time for contribution, but why not?
Maybe ping Floris.
Does Floris knows about UI Suite and is using one of the UI Suite module?
I don't know.
You don't know. Okay. So maybe we say, well, we will be very surprised about the question, but it's always nice, and it will be the opportunity of saying hello to Floris and wish him a good year.
Mm.
Yes. Okay, so it's been half an hour, so we are on time. If anybody has question, it's time. If anybody has something to share, it's time. And if not, I will stay online with UI Pattern 2 team for just a little checkup, a little meeting. Nobody? Okay, thank you.
Thank
No. The date of the next meeting.
Is the 8th of February.
Sorry?
The 8th.
Okay, 8th of February. Nice. We keep the same time slot.
Yeah, of course.
Nice. Okay, so thank you. You can cut the video recording.